We good? Is the video good?
We're live.
I think we're live. All right. What are we talking about today?
Today, I would like to talk about wardrobe because we are getting a lot of questions. People see us out at events all the time. People are always wondering how we put stuff together. They're wondering if they have to dress as crazy and elaborate as we do. So we kind of just wanted to clear the air and talk to you guys about how we do what we do.
So first of all, putting together outfits for an event, for me, I'm sure is way less stressful. And I'm probably speaking for most of the guys.
It's so terrifying for it's not terrifying.
Way more stressful for the ladies.
It's stressful. Like there's a lot to do. Like there's pieces, stuff gets heavy, stuff gets elaborate, or sometimes we want to go simple. So
well, and you guys have
we
a
have
lot.
the option to do that, and you guys kind of do, but not really.
Well, and also you guys have a lot more considerations when it comes to that kind of stuff. So guys can get away with wearing the same thing
Like 8,000 times, and nobody
to
ever
all
notices.
kinds of events.
Yeah.
And nobody notices that we were photographed in this exact suit 2 years ago, 2
Right.
months ago, 2 weeks ago. Nobody even
Right.
notices.
Well, let's do this. Let's break down. So there's with the vampire events that we attend with Endless Night, there's usually salons, and then there's balls. There's also meet and greets. There's grand salons. There's all sorts of different kinds of events. But let's talk about just the two. So a salon and a ball. So dressing for both of those things can be very similar, but they can also be very, very different. Let's start with you and talk about like how do you for a salon, like you mentioned that you're able to wear the same thing kind of over and over again.
Yep.
How do you switch it up? What do you do? Where do you start for a salon?
Well, for a salon, we talking like all black, like a salon noir?
Yes.
All black head to toe.
Yeah.
So I usually there's a certain number of pieces that I know are going to be the same regardless, right? So I know I'm always going to have the same shoes because I have a couple pairs of all black shoes. So that's not going to change.
Imagine. Okay.
So my accessories don't change. My belt doesn't change.
Yeah.
I know that I'm wearing a black shirt, a black button-down shirt. I know I'm wearing black pants.
Usually, yeah.
Right. So for me, it's really about my jacket's usually a little bit fancier. Sometimes it may have satin lapels, it may have a brocade pattern, it may have some like little details like that. But the rest of my kind of core pieces, they're usually pretty plain. Plain black shirt, plain black pants, plain black belt. Sometimes has some kind of metal, but it's usually like a muted black on it. Black dress socks, black shoes.
Okay.
So for me, I'm usually dressing up my outfit with my rings, chain. So like the accessories and how you put together those accessories is usually how I'm putting my salon outfit together.
Well, I've seen you do like kind of two things, like a more, I'll call it vampire aesthetic, gothed out kind of look, and then also kind of like the simple like GQ kind of look. So do you want to talk about like if you're going like all out vamp, where are you getting stuff, number one? What does that look like, and what does that switch up?
So if I'm going, I mean, I'll call it extra.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if I'm going extra,
little extra.
I could be wearing more than one chain.
Mhm.
I could be wearing a bigger pendant. I could be layering my chains. I'll usually be wearing more rings. So it's okay to kind of, you know, borderline load up your fingers with stuff. So I'm really going heavier on the accessories.
Okay.
And sometimes with like eye makeup and stuff like that too. Like, cause I really don't.
You rock an eyeliner. I appreciate that.
There aren't really many other ways to kind of dress it up but for those kind of accessories.
Right.
If I'm going more kind of slick, then I'm erring on the side of simple jacket. So
Can I
won't
pop you back
have
for
a
a second?
pattern.
I'm
Yeah.
interrupting you.
Yeah.
Go back to your kind of dapper look. Where is that jacket coming from? Like, what is that piece? Because I think that's something that people want to know. They're always like, "Oh my god, where'd you get the thing and all that?"
So I've over the course of several years have kind of gradually added a jacket at a time to the collection. A place where I don't even know who turned me on to these guys, to be honest with you. But it's a company down in Miami, Florida. called Sebastian Cruz Couture. And whenever you see me wearing a jacket, it's very likely from them.
Mhm.
They're
You're talking about like a blazer. Like a
yes,
straight up blazer.
correct. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So they are on the higher end side,
Mhm.
but be on the lookout because they do run sales and specials, which knock down their price considerably.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I loved is like the very first jacket I got from them. It's so well made, but it doesn't kind of fit quite right. Just like when you buy any